So he started his career with Taj Group of Hotels and then moved to tourism. Most of his career was with Sita and Kioni Travel, which included postings in different countries. He's a Facebook junkie and active on LinkedIn and enjoys spending time with his pet dogs, which is a mascot of the Tree of Life Resorts and a dog story as well. We also welcome Mr. Grish Bindra. He is also on the advisory board of HHC. With over 35 years of experience in travel, tourism, and hospitality industry, he is currently the Vice President of Operations at the Surya, New Delhi, and is a passionate hotelier and an affable personality. As much as his name is famous across the industry, so is among many, many foreign guests who continue to keep coming back to the hotel where he is. He's completed his general manager's program with Cornell University in 2006 and has also won many awards among Young Achievers Award for contribution to the hospitality at ITB Berlin, Patwa in 2007. In the same year, he won the award as Hotelier of the Year and so on and so forth. For all, I think very few people know that he is also the president of SPAL International Delhi, and he's a very, very active part in the executive committee of Golf Association as well. Now, coming back to the flow of today's episodes, of course, we will soon start the episode discussions. Then there will be a presentation by our episode partner, Nikos Manpower, and it will be followed by business networking. We would request everybody to just spare a minute to like us on the Facebook page, www.facebook.com, Happy Hotelier Club. Just to give you a gist and a recap on the HHC past episodes, we've done about 15 episodes so far, and we have successfully called all the stalwarts of the industry, and there has been a lot of takeaways from each episode. If you have missed any of our episodes, you can see the recordings on our Facebook page as well as on the YouTube channel, and you can even see it on the website. Coming to the current episode number 15. Robust HR, creating future-ready employees to delight guests. That's the topic for today. What will you gain from episode 15? Importance of preparing the manpower to the future ready in the hospitality industry. Opportunities post-COVID-19 for the existing employee engagement by the organization, culture, creation, and HR policies. I now take a special privilege to welcome our panel and also welcome our episode partner. Episode partner for today is Nikos Outsourcing Services, HR and Accounting. Nikos Manpower Services Private Limited is an outsourcing company focused on increasing the productivity and profitability of their clients. They provide outsourcing services related to payroll, vendor payment, accounting services, and statutory compliances. Their focus is to provide these services to the hospitality and the allied industry so that they can reduce their fixed cost and focus on their core business without worrying about the routine operational issues. We'll wait to hear from them after the discussion points are over. I hereby welcome Kush Kapoor. He is currently the CEO of Rosiat Hotels and Resorts. He's heading the operations for the group, and he started his career with the Trident Udaipur after completing his hotel management from IHM Hyderabad. With over 17 years of experience in the hospitality industry, Mr. Kapoor has covered the most iconic hotels during his hospitality career across India, including the Taj Group of Hotels and the Leela Group. In addition to the above, Mr. Kapoor is a certified departmental trainer from Taj Corporate Office, and he was deputed to train 50 assistant managers from front office across all Taj hotels for about 3 months, and has been on the panel for the inspection and classification of hotels by Harani Committee. In personal life, he is a Six Sigma Green Belt, Black Belt trainer and Master Black Belt, which has been certified by the international body. We welcome you, Mr. Kapoor. We also welcome Dr. D.K. Bakshi, very well known and the name given by Bangkok Post, where he is based out of. He is called the Mr. Motivator. He's a well-known HRD consultant, public speaker, and a global leadership coach. His key focus is people development and processes to create world-class people who deliver world-class business results. His core specialization has been in organizational development with key strengths of building people for their personal and professional success. We welcome you, sir. Mr. Rocky Kalra, VP, the Lalit Group Hospitality, the Lalit Suri Hospitality Group. He has a career spanning over 25 years in running various operations verticals in the hospitality industry. He's worked with brands like Bharat Hotels, which is the Lalit Suri Hospitality Group, Costa Coffee and Nerulas, to name a few. And his exemplary leadership is characterized by excellent people management and team building skills. He's responsible for all the aspects of operations across 14 hotels within India and one in London, and provides leadership and strategy to all the departments. He's responsible for the continued success of the group through his strategic planning, ensuring margin enhancement and overall operational success. We welcome you, sir. We also welcome Ashu Bhatnagar. He has about 28 years spanning across various international bodies, international brands, and across select hotel verticals. He's been associated with the pre-opening and opening of the properties like Radisson's, the Hilton Group, the Wyndham, and Hyatt. A student of National School of Drama, something which people don't know. He's very creative in his thinking, and that truly reflects in his leadership style as well. Welcome, Ashu. I take a special privilege of introducing all of you to Mr. Jaideep Singh. He is the director, JS Core Consulting, and he is our moderator for the day. He's a law graduate from University of Delhi, and he's been associated with the Taj Group of Hotels since the year 1984 to 2000. He's been involved with the Taj Group of Hotels in managing source in premier hotels like Taj View Hotel Agra, Taj Mahal Hotel New Delhi, and Taj Residency Lucknow. Mr. Singh remained associated with Manav Rachna University Faridabad as Director Industry Interaction and Professor from November 2014 to April 2020. Mr. Jaideep Singh is currently running his own company, which is called JS Core Consulting, and conducts soft skill training and mentoring. For all I know, all these years, he's been a man I've never seen him without a smile on his face. So we welcome Mr. Jaideep Singh as a moderator for the day today. Over to you, sir. Mr. Singh, you can unmute yourself and take the stage forward.
Thank you very much, Taran, for your kind words. And I welcome once again the panelists, the esteemed panelists for that matter. And before I start the session, let me first introduce you to the Happy Hoteliers Club and the concerned people. Happy Hoteliers Club has been conceptualized in the January 2020, and it's a brainchild of three passionate hoteliers with the purpose of bringing out hoteliers on a common forum for communication and exchange of ideas on industry-related issues, new trends, and practices being followed to enhance business and support each other. A perfect place for any hotelier to come together and interact and share and discover his own self. May also be useful for sourcing right manpower and vendors. Our vision, their vision is to be the world's first and best platform for hoteliers to provide happier ways of networking, learning, and of course, exchange of ideas. Now, let me introduce you to three key executives who are involved in it. The first one is Mr. Ashish Gupta. He is a very passionate hotelier from past 2 decades, specializing in operations, has been with the JP Group, Ramada Group, to name a few, and he is currently a Chief Operating Officer of HHC, Happy Hotels Club. Mr. Dheeraj Agrawal. He is an IT expert from the past 15 years and running his own company called WebTcons. And more than a decade, he's the Chief Technical Officer of HHC, Happy Hoteliers Club. And now I'll talk to you about Tarandeep, whom I've known for quite some time, a branding and a PR specialist, and has spent 18 years in corporate and is better known as pre-launch specialist with many hotels, resorts, restaurant chains to her credit. Along with the Grand Prix in India, she runs her own PR and marketing companies called Sambandh PR and Uplifto. She is the chief demonstration officer of Happy Hoteliers Club. And we have seen her demonstration, the way she demonstrates. That's extremely exemplary. So kudos to all three of them. They're doing extremely well. Congratulations to you. Now I'll take, with your permission, I start this session here. Uh, this webinar has been really rightly put across for a right perspective because it's very, very important the way we are going through today. Undeniably, these are very difficult times on account of COVID-19. We all know. But there is no point to be discontent. For sure. Each of us have our own. We need to face this adversity and convert these challenges certainly into opportunity. Hospitality industry is one of the pillars of world economy, more specifically for India. And of course, it is generator. As time is passing, hospitality sector is adapting to new normal. We have started to see green shoots of recovery world over, which is evident now. It is people's driven industry, we all know. Therefore, human resource plays a very, very vital and a significant role. Hence, let's discuss today in this forum with respect to our current preparedness in various hotels, making our employees future ready, as well as discuss takeaways for the prospective employees. So that's going to be our agenda for the day. Now, we have Dr. D.K. Bakshi, we have Rocky Kalrasa, we have Mr. Krish Kapoor, and Mr. Ashu Bhatnagar. My first question actually goes to Dr. D.K. Bakshi, who has who has done a lot of work internationally also in various parts of the world. Sir, my question to you, and then the same question will go to the three panelists also. So, do you
Mrs.
believe
Singh,
that
I'm sorry
it
to
is the
interrupt.
human resource?
Mrs.
Yeah.
Singh, I'm sorry to interrupt. The audio is breaking up. The sound breaks many times, in between. So,
Okay.
if you can just look at it.
Is it okay now?
And we can remove the slide also. The slide can go away now.
That's right. Probably the slide can go away. That's right. Okay. The first question is, do you believe that it is the human resource who can rebuild confidence and delight the customer? What your hotel? So this first question is to Dr. D.K. Bakshi with specific reference to rebuild confidence and delight the customer. Dr. D.K. Bakshi.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way, but it's a fact of life that people make a difference to any business, and especially when we are talking about the service industry, that too hotel, home away from home. When I say this, I say when I enter a hotel, property, the way I am being greeted, treated, met. So here, post-COVID, when the things are into specific SOPs, so employees have to have the best level of confidence, and I call it SHE. And this is important and vital in terms of COVID. SHE means, number one, safety. Safety of employees first. Employees first, and then comes the guest. The moment the employee is safe, will ensure that the guest is safe. All measures related to safety has to be upper class, world class, and world class. That is S. H is health and hygiene. complete control on the aspect of health of an employee, whosoever employed, whether it's the general manager, executive vice president, supervisor, steward, or even the gatekeeper, the sentry. And I can tell you here, health and hygiene must. How many must I said? Just brilliant. And I want to tell you, coming from Thailand, Thailand normally, people who travel to Bangkok, normally are high level of hygiene and health. And when you see post-COVID, it's again super class. And E, when I talk about she, S is safety, H is health and hygiene, E, environment and engagement. Creating and crafting an environment of doing business after all challenges. It has to be guest-friendly, environment all around all areas of the property to delight the customer. Super duper normal of new normal. I say super duper normal of new normal. Employees will need the training and retraining and retraining. And why I say training, retraining and retraining? Because the she component has got tremendously changed when we talk about pre-COVID. So employees need training, retraining, retraining. That means a hammering effect for implementing she to its full sprint, which is certainly an SOP. Also, employee HR manual, the practices of human resources, need complete revisiting, rebuilding in line with the SOPs and making changes sure that this document is completely owned by every employee. Even when we are going to be designing the HR manual, there has to be inputs from even employees. That is the way I can say that HR will play most important, most critical aspect when we talk about finally not only delighting the customer, exciting the customer. Thank you very much.
Great, said. Thank you. My question to three panelists from the hotels is what your hotel has done with regards to employee engagement, organizational culture creation. First goes to Mr. Rocky Kalra. Sir, your take.
God, I normally miss the first part because the audio is not too good. Can you hear me?
Sir.
Am I heard? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, super. So, first of all, thank you so much for inviting. I can't hear, Mr. Singh.
Yeah.
Mr. Singh, your voice is cracking in between. So,
I think so.
You're missing on words.
If you can pause your video. If you can pause your video and then try speaking again.
Maybe that's better, yes. Maybe.
In fact, all of us can pause our videos if that makes a difference, whoever is speaking.
I'll have to change the place now. I'm changing it. Don't worry. I'm changing.
Okay. In his case, there's an issue. Others are no issue. Do you have an issue in my communication?
No.
No, sir. No, not at all.
There must be internet at his place, which is not good.
Yes, sir. That's right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
So I'll start, Taran.
Yes, sir.
So Dr. Singh has asked me 3 questions, I think, for the employee engagement is what I heard, and the
that's right.
Organization culture creation and the HR policies. Is that
that's right.
Am I right?
That's right.
That's right.
So number one, Singh, I must take just 1 minute to 2 minutes over what is COVID, as Dr. Bakshi rightly said. It is very important, imperative for all of us to understand what is COVID. One, this is a disease which is coming. The best part about this whole piece is that nobody has a clue what is this disease, where is this coming from, how will it continue? Nobody has a clue. The researches are still on. We're expecting a vaccine, which will never come, which we all know. It like many, many years. Till date, we don't have the swine flu vaccine. We don't have the HIV vaccine. We never had any vaccine. So let's not hope. Anyway, I'm not making any statement, but let's understand where we're coming from in terms of the COVID, what COVID has given us. As a society, as a country, COVID brings change. I think the only way I can explain COVID is change. Change to the extent that all of us, what we were before COVID, pre-COVID, and what is called during COVID and the post-COVID, three eras are different. Pre-COVID era, today, during the COVID, we've all forgotten. We don't remember how it was the normal or what was the normal 3 months back. Today, we will forget once the COVID is over, which is post-COVID. We do not know when that phase will come in, but this period also we will forget. But what is important, as you rightly said, is the HR's role in our business, so-called atmosphere, that how does the HR come in the picture? And what all and how can the HR contribute to bring success in the people's careers and make a change? In terms of the engagement, I made some points, I'll just quickly read it to you. So employee engagement as a company at the Lalit Group, it's a people's company. So we typically work as a family. That's our culture of the company. The first thing that we have done as the company is that we have done personal calls to each employee. Whether the people could come, some of the people could come, but a lot of people could not make it to work, of course, because of the lockdown. But we made sure that the HR made personal calls to all the employees, checking on their well-being and understanding as to where they're coming from and how can we be of any help as a company. So that level of personal touch that we have done. In terms of engagement, so because we didn't have much more time, what we've done is we've done a lot of virtual, of course, team building, like we're doing virtual meeting now. And we've done a lot of virtual so-called team building activities. We even included in some of the cities, even the families were included as part of the activity, just to make it fun. We have done online yoga sessions for the group. A lot of COVID-19 awareness training. I think it's very important, imperative for us to understand what is COVID-19, how do we get. SOPs, mock drills. So in the sense, before we could open the hotels, we've done a lot of mock drills so that we should be ready to receive the customer, which people loved it, employees and the teams loved it because it was actually good for them to make sure that the distance is maintained, even while they eat in the staff cafeteria, and the way they enter the building, the premises, how they change in the locker room, the distance between the lockers. So that level detailing the company has taken. We've done a lot of indoor games wherever possible, with the distancing, of course, keeping in mind. That's a standard, goes without saying. And a lot of trainings in terms of personal hygiene, social distancing, how to maintain, how do we do. A lot of secrets of how do we go ahead in terms of success, stress management, all those topics were covered. In terms of the culture creation or by the organization, we've actually gone a little bit one more ahead because a lot of people could not make it to work. So we let a lot of people work from home. So that's the first time that work from home culture, which was actually limited to only IT companies some years back. But today, I think all of us are, I think everybody, all the groups must be following something similar. We have allowed a lot of people to do part-time jobs because the fact that we couldn't accommodate some of them as the full-time, so we let them go and work elsewhere, which they were quite happy with. A lot of teams were given us multi-skilling in the sense, wherever they could contribute, they could, but wherever they could not, we encourage them to learn that skill so that it's good for their careers going forward. We have a counselor on board. It's for the mental health. As a company, we pay a lot of attention on the mental health. So we have a counselor which is available anytime. Somebody can call him, her, very, very confidentially. That secrecy is maintained by the gentleman, and you can talk it over your issues that you may have. Of course, goes without saying, basically ensuring the basic transportation and food and rations that we have, of course, I'm sure all of us have distributed, but as a company, we've gone ahead, yes. In terms of the HR policies, as just now I mentioned, we have allowed the part-times. See, some years back, we could never allow people to work part-times. But this time, yes, we have done so. And work from home. And of course, as a small measure, we've removed the so-called the stringent methods of the uniform policy. And apparently that's why I'm not wearing a 3 or 4-piece suit. So I'm wearing a regular shirt and I'm in front of all of you. So we've gone beyond that part. I think what we've done overall, Mr. Singh, I'll just take one more minute just to put my point across to let all of us know that what we've done as a company, that we've put focus on the word health, as Dr. Bakshi rightly said, on the hygiene and the immunity. These 3 words are actually all different and we all understand the technical meaning. But for all of us to take it back in terms of what is health, see, whatever the meaning of the health was 3 months back, pre-COVID, is different today and it will be different tomorrow. The meaning of immunity, till date, it was just one word to understand that, you eat lemon water in the morning, your immunity grows up. But today, immunity word, we've understood that even the lack of sleep can actually cause a lack of immunity. Every single aspect is important for the building the immunity in our system. And hygiene has a different levels. The number of times you are washing hands, I don't think so any of us have washed hands pre-COVID maybe in a month. So today, I washed hands maybe 50, 60, 100 times. The whole concept of health, hygiene, and immunity has changed today. And I think we'll have to adapt to the change. So what we are doing now in terms of people, teams down the line, and all of us, including all of our colleagues, we are focusing a lot on bringing this change, adapting this change. Because if you don't adapt to the change, you can't survive in the coming times, which we still do not know what will be the future because we're still during COVID era. We have not crossed that COVID era really. So a little tricky times, very, very unprecedented, yes. But thank you if that answers my yes part. Thank you.
Maybe I have some light. Kush could also throw some light on some on employee engagement because Roseate House has done a lot of things into the employee engagement. So I would request you to limit your answer to the employee engagement only. Sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So let me just give you a couple of examples. Rather, for me, engagement for all of us is to ensure that the team understands their importance in the organization, how crucial are their success for the organization. And for me, it's important that I win the confidence of my people where they're working. So we encourage our people, our employees actually to make as many mistakes as they can, because that will only help them to open up and learn. We always make sure we support them from the back, but they need to try out different things. It's what we all talk about innovation. And we really push innovation in our organization. We're talking about weekly yoga sessions. We got an app which everybody has downloaded on their mobiles, basically, and which talks about yoga. It has different kind of musics, which anybody can listen at any point of time. That's obviously free of cost. We're talking about 1 month of sports, and this is I'm talking about during the COVID and it's also pre-COVID time. So I'm talking about the entire engagement, which is a continuous process. Every Friday is a fun Friday. We all assemble it in the hotel and try doing whatever 1-minute games. 1 month in the year is completely dedicated to the sports activities, where everybody from all the different hotels come together and play different sort of games. Every employee, this is by the rule, you can say, has to undergo cross-exposure training in at least 2 departments. And at least 1 month out of 12 months, he has to spend in different hotels of ours, which also helps us in the team building. They get to know each other well. And obviously, in case of any requirements, we can always pull out and move somebody to the other office. When I talk about engaging in employee engagement, all my hotels, we've provided all HODs, none of the HODs or not even me have an office basically. So we have actually no place to sit where we can have cubicles or even a door. So for me, it's a complete transparency where anybody from the hotel can walk up to any one of us at any point of time and take assistance. There is no EA, there is no PA in any of the hotels. So it's a complete, as I said, it's a complete transparent way, the way we work. None of my HODs in any of my hotels in India and abroad, at any point of time, any employee comes to them and asks for some question, they cannot even say, I will take some time. They leave everything what they have in their hands and they attend to the employees. And that's, as I said, is all in place on that part. We do KRAs for our employees just to make sure they understand, but that's happened twice in a year. And there are 2 people who are sitting in the KRA. So there's not one manager who does the KRA, to make sure that the KRA is done in a very, very transparent manner. We spend a lot of money, like I'm sure a lot of companies do. If I give you an example, my training budget for my hotels is itself more than 500 crore a year. So we do lots and lots of internal and more so external trainings. We've sent people to IIMs. I've been to Cornell University for General Managers program last year. on that part. We've sent people, we've done the courses from XLRI. I've done a course from Six Sigma. Basically, I'm a master black belt Six Sigma holder on that part. So we do a lot of things. Open door policy, I've already mentioned to you, sir. There is absolutely no time of checking in and checking out of my hotels, which happens in typical hotels. We've all have been through those things. So an employee in my hotels can come anytime and they can leave at any point of time. They only need to make sure that there is always a backup when they leave. Somebody is always there to take care of their people. I'll give you probably two simple, quick examples. I have I have chauffeurs in my hotels who actually have been groomed and they're handling the concierge of my hotel, in one of my hotels. I have room boys who have moved from room boys and they become sous chefs in my hotels in the last less than 4 years, I would say. Any employee who spent, so we got fixed hours in terms of you cannot work more than 9 hours in my hotels anywhere in India and abroad. And we monitor this with your biometric system. There are reports which are generated. Yes, we all understand hoteliers at times have to work for 18 hours also. But when there's no work, you have to leave the hotel within 2 to 3 hours to make sure by the end of the month, you do not cross more than 9 hours, because that's also linked to your KRA. So that's how we manage HR policies. We've got those things written down, but actually we rather encourage our people not to follow. We are pretty flexible the way we want to change things. You missed your meals, walk up to the in-room dining, take up the food from there, go to your cafe at any point of time and have it. The doctor on call is always there. There is an app which we have in the organization. You don't have to apply for leave. Everybody has that app on their mobile. So everything works from the mobile. So the hierarchy levels, if I have to talk about, or the approvals level has gone to bare minimum levels on that. Thank you, sir.
Great answer. In fact, Dr. Bakshi has talked about she concept, very, very beautiful concept as such. Rocky sir has talked about the personal touch, and he's talked about change from pre to the post. And of course, reposing confidence, and Rocky sir talked about concern for people, and you have talked about very beautifully about upskilling, teamship, and transparency. And I would request Mr. Ashu to talk about something a bit about culture creation in his hotel. What done towards to culture create? Sir.
So I'd like to mention, thank you very much. I think it was a couple of very insightful points that Kush has represented. For culture creation, I think post-COVID, we have collectively realized that it's very, very essential to learn to work with minimalistic staffing. And in order to do so, we can only be successful by multitasking in a very, very collaborative manner. So what we've been doing is, from the time when our city, Jaipur, went into a lockdown, we've basically seen very two distinct phases. One was, of course, the time when the hotels were actually shut down and there was actually no movement. And from month of May onwards, we actually started getting in some guests on the Vande Bharat mission, and then the hotels opened up. So in both the times, we actually created a very interesting culture. So let me talk to you first about the time when we were actually in a lockdown phase and there was no movement. There was nobody coming and going to hotels. So we created, or rather encouraged, all our executives to come and talk to the team members through small WhatsApp videos, small experiences. You know, what happens is, during the normal course of running of a hotel, employees, the team members really do not get to interact with their supervisors or cross-departmental heads. So we encouraged all of our departmental heads and the executives to share experiences from their past, which have some kind of a lesson to learn, some mistakes that all of us have done as we've grown up. And the idea was to make sure that our team members do not repeat the same mistakes. And like it was previously mentioned by one of our speakers here, that please do encourage them to make mistakes. But that's exactly what we do as well. We wanted to make sure that they learn from our mistakes, our experiences. We also, during that lockdown phase, we also tried to create an environment where our finance manager actually gave very, very insightful tips on how to money manage, which was very, very important. We realized that all of us were taking voluntary pay cuts to survive as long as we do not know how long it's going to be. So financial management, money management was absolutely essential. In order to do that, we, for a lot of junior rank and file staff members, we encouraged them because they were bearing the burden of rent wherever they were staying in the city of Jaipur. We invited at least about 25 of our members who volunteered to stay in the hotel so that they could let go of their accommodations and save the rent, and we were taking care of all their meals, boarding and lodging. So that's one thing that we created. And of course, once the hotel actually came into operations, we encouraged a lot of best practices. Some were unique, some were best practices taken from the market. And like mentioned earlier, working from home was a culture that we encouraged. We also encouraged flexible working hours because we basically adapted ourselves to the tone of the business. And when you have large group arrivals from the Vande Bharat mission coming in, there are different time zones when the groups are actually checking into the hotel. So we try to make sure that everybody is there when the business requires them to be.
Great, Ashu. Thank you very much. I'm in between now. What I can see from all the four panelists, one thing which very clearly comes is earlier we were talking that customer is very important, but during this COVID time and post-COVID, what we are seeing is now what we are looking at is employee is very important. He's become a backbone, and this is what exactly, whether it is a she concept or a personal touch or employee engagement, upskilling, teamship, and sharing, experience sharing also, what exactly we are just looking at bringing a bridging the gap and bringing employees together so that they can take the hotel to the next level, to the properties to the next level. And this next level is nothing but to ensure when the customer checks into the hotel, he is absolutely delighted. He feels wow about what he was supposed to be expecting. All his expectations are superseded. In fact, the services are beyond his imagination. Now, the second question from this comes is, quick answer I would want to have is, what plans do you have for a strong comeback? Now, hopefully, I was looking at an article of Mr. Puneet Chatwal, who's the managing director of the Taj Group Hotels, and he's very positive about the fact that somewhere in 90 to 120 days, inshallah, things will be absolutely fine. And he was talking very positive about it. And strong comeback is going to be happening. So what exactly we have the plans? So my first quick answer would be from Rocky Kalra, then from Kushji, and then from Mr. Ashu Bhatnagar. Rocky, over to you. Strong comeback plans.
So in terms of our company, we are as a company very hopeful of that things will change soon enough. When this whole piece started, we gave ourselves 6 to 8 months. So I think that gets over in the month of September, October is what we are expecting. But see, it's all a hunch game. Nobody can actually, guarantee that the COVID so-called gets over in 3 months or 6 months, but we're hoping so. Number one. Number two, even if things go back to normal or the COVID gets over, Mr. Singh, the fear still remains. That fear may continue for the next maybe 1 year, 2 years. I have no idea. None of us have an idea. So there are some questions which are in the limbo, which we have no answer really. And the research, as I mentioned earlier, the research is still going on. But as a company, what we've done is that, of course, we have to run the business and we are hopeful that things will go back to normal soon enough. What we've done is that during this lockdown, 3 months or whatever, 2.5 months, depending on the particular city and state, we kept our hotels very, very clean and maintained. As a company, we're very fussy about quality as to how we maintain our business and how we maintain our hotels and people both. So people have already mentioned, now I'm covering the hotels as a structure, which in terms of a small detailing in terms of, the lobbies and the rooms and the air conditioning and whatever, and even the horticulture. We were very concerned about maintaining even the horticulture, that everything remained as it is. We were very fussy about it. Number two, teams were kept ready in terms of, we did a lot of multi-scaling because coming forward, see, as an ethos of the company, as a company policy, what we believe that it's one common team. We stopped believing that I'm from the F&B or you're from the front office or the other guys from the sales. It's not so. It's a one common team and everybody does everything. And that's what we believe in. So we are training everyone down the line to do A to Z job. Today, there could be a lot of guys from the spa and the other areas serving and and supporting the kitchen in terms of packaging material. So that's what's going on at the moment. We as a company are also ready with the hygiene promise to the future customers and the present customers, because that's something which will matter to them. Though it will get over soon enough, which we hope so, but still right now it's the case, and it's a scene that we have to be very, very careful in terms of when people come in, how do they be greeted, welcomed, and catered to in terms of how they're served. The whole service design of them entering from the main gate to the hotel, to lobby, to rooms, or either to the restaurants or the spa, either way has been so-called very well designed and nurtured and explained and trained to the teams down the line. We are focused about the, as I mentioned, health, hygiene, immunity. So the menus have been updated accordingly. All the menus have, we've added something similar, which can actually help boost all three aspects of the system. Fumigation, we as a company, as I mentioned to you, we're very fussy about fumigations have been done very deeply. I'm sure everybody does so, but we are, yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of detailing in the sense, yes. So we are quite ready in terms of to come back. Rest in terms of business, Mr. Singh, I'm sure, as I mentioned to you earlier, there's a bit of question mark. We have to build that faith in the eyes of the customer. So I guess with the direct marketing, online marketing, we will be able to communicate that we are a safe industry and safe hotel company to cater to them.
Okay, thank you very much, Rocky. I have a question from Kush here. Apart from what Rocky has talked about, what unique things you have done? Have you also kept your customers informed as to what you're doing today for tomorrow? Because a lot of hotels have been in touch with the customers, and they have been in fact showing them what exactly the treatment is being given to the employees and making them ready for them tomorrow. Yes, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. I guess you already answered my question. So I'll just take sum up in quickly. For me, three things are very important. It's my team, my guests, and my partners. So we make sure every week there's a communication which goes through all these three pointers: team, guests, and partners. So what we are doing in the hotel, what we've been doing in the hotel. So everybody is on the same boat. They all understand. We got a very nice tagline for our hotels is never leave, which means that we don't let our employees leave and we don't want our guests to leave our hotels also. But this, I'll give you an example. As on date, there is not even a single employee in my hotels, even during this time, who's been asked to leave. So every single employee has been retained in my organization in India and abroad also. Yes, salaries have gone down a bit, but everybody is on board on that part. Multi-skilling, we've spoken a lot, so I'm not going to get into detail. My hotel, the Roseate House in Aerocity, has been the first hotel in India and the 5th hotel in the world to get a certification which is called as FSSC, which is the highest levels of certification in the world, and that's an international certification. My hotels are LEED certified. We are the first hotels company in India, if I have to put it across, who introduced the concept of 24/7 by breakfast. That means even if you missed the breakfast in the morning, so we don't say no to you if you're coming in the afternoon. You can actually come in the evening at 6 p.m. if you miss your breakfast as a guest, and you can just order it from coffee shop, no questions asked from you. So I'm talking about a transparency between my team members, my guests, and my partners. It's extremely important. Roseate Hotels and Resorts has also been the first company in India, hotel company in India. So if you're ordering your food right now sitting from home, the moment you order the food, you get a live access to the cameras on your mobile, and you can actually see my chefs preparing your food in my kitchens, right? So that's the level of hygiene we are talking about. We are the first hotel chain in India where we've launched the alkaline water for our guests, and it's all free of cost, and that's same for my employees also. So alkaline, just for everybody's information, is one level above the RO water we are talking about in terms of purity. We are also experimenting right now in one of our hotels where we are actually generating water from the air. And we are almost through with that. I would say next couple of weeks, we'll be able to actually serve that water to our guests and our employees in the hotel. So we are talking about the water is not coming from anywhere. We are actually generating the water from the air. So if I sum it up, we do lots and lots of R&Ds, lots and lots of innovation in our hotels. We believe more in word of mouth rather than putting posters and sending those pictures and putting things on the Facebook and everything. Focus for me, it's very simple. Take care of my employees who are going to take care of my guests. That's also
wonderful. Great. But just a line of humor, COVID is in the air also.
Yes. This technology is with the company from US actually. So we have partnered with them to do that.
Wonderful. The question would be now for Mr. Ashu. If at all there is anything which is different than what exactly Kush has done or what Rocky sir has done? One or two liners here. Please, sir. Ashu.
So just a quick one. In fact, a lot of our audience in the Jaipur market, socials is the only way forward in the next couple of months. So we are encouraging our guests to take tours with our teams back of the house as well. Uh, a lot of us have done those promotional videos. Marriott also has a We Care program. Those videos are there in the market for our customers to see. As and when they are walking into the hotels to book their events for the coming future, we are encouraging them to generate confidence. Feel free to walk in with us and go on the tour of front of the house and the back of the house tours to show how clinically clean we are maintaining our environments. That goes a big way. So for as far as the comeback plan is, yes, socials are getting booked with us for immediate and for the future. And of course, Jaipur being recognized as a World Heritage City with almost 1,500 locations now being identified, we are very, very confident that the domestic leisure market will start first. And that's what's going to take us forward. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have given a cue for my third question. Next question is, I would be asking specifically to Dr. B.K. Bakshi, sir. In order to rebuild trust in the mind of a guest, in a customer, you'll have to consider a multitude of things such as operational changes to strict hygiene measures. So what tangible plans one should have for making employees future ready? So Dr. Bakshi, how can we make employees future ready? What should be those tangible plans for making employees future ready? Because at this point in time, they are under tremendous pressure, tremendous stress. Some are put onto the furloughs, some are on the leave without pay, or some of them have been told, sorry, we'll not be able to take you now. Now, in this kind of a situation, how can we ensure these employees become future ready? Over to Dr. Bakshi.
Yeah, I think very specialists of the hotel industry have spoken some of the beautiful things which are already covered. I would like to reinforce. Training is first one, which is critically important. So everybody says we are doing training, we are doing this. You know, many people keep on saying we do training. But are we doing a right kind of training because we do not know present COVID, post-COVID, what is going to be there? So we will have to even change regularly our way of communicating to employees and how they will communicate to the guests. So training religiously strengthen employee mindset and attitude to serve the customer with smile and with heart. When we smile and there's no heart involved, you know, they say when an air hostess smiles at you, you can understand whether it's from face or it's from heart. So religiously strengthen the attitudes and the mindset of employees to become more and more customer friendly. Now, employees have gone through mess. Employees have seen this 120 days, bad days. They have seen around COVID. They have seen cases. They may have some issues in their larger families. Some people died. Some people they could not attend. People have been away from parents. People have been away from families. So there has been a lot of stress which has gone through these employees. So unbelievable, unheard, unknown ways. I'm saying three. Unbelievable, unknown, unheard ways of winning the hearts of employees. Many of these special experts from the hotel industry, I was in the hotel industry in 1983, and this is 2020. Now they have been all along in the hotel industry. So they have already taken steps through employee engagement to do that. But is there something which I always say, earn together, learn together, work together, sing together, dance together, but cry together. Hey, when an employee is in a mess, please cry, give your shoulder to the employee. In present COVID times, in case you have given shoulder to your employee, that employee will remain with you lifelong.
Very good, sir.
You.
Excellent. Dr. Bakshi, what you have very rightly said is till yesterday, the management was talking about we are a family. The moment the COVID came, they said, I'm sorry, we cannot take you. Now, there was a dichotomy in the entire statement. Till yesterday, I was a family. Today, all of a thing, because of COVID, everything has changed. I'm no more a part of a family. So what you're saying, cry on the shoulder also. And what Rocky sir has talked about, what Kush has talked about, what Ashu sir has talked about is Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. They've talked about everybody's together. We are a family. That's amazing. And that's
One
the
world, one world, one love, and one family.
That's
That
right.
is what the message should be going. Though there are separations also which is happening. But what I am trying to make it here is, even if I don't go on a cocktail to some of my employee, doesn't matter. But when the employee is a mess, I should give my shoulder. So when you do this kind of relationship, engagement with the employee, the trust builds for a strong time. You see your side also, when I see your executive managers or general managers moving out of the hotel, there are some employees who move along with them. Because that is a personal touch. That is a personal relationship. It has to be maintained. So it all comes to leadership. A leader at a hotel at the top will ensure that trust goes down the line. In
Great,
case
sir.
there is an issue on the leadership, there is no trust. So leader is who builds trust, who walks trust, who talks trust, and he makes sure that the entire property is where one dream, one team, one mission, rebooting and serving the customer with smile. That will bring a great team of, whether it is Shangri-Las or Sheratons or Suryas together. They can become world class. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks very much. Now, the second last question is there to with Mr. Rocky Kalra, Kush Kapoor, and Ashuji. Please share some of the best practices you have initiated, which is making employees far more valued. Now, here I'm talking about far more valued. What we were giving the value to them at one point in time, but there is a shift now. We have actually realized, we have started feeling that they are the assets. They should be given that value which probably we were not giving at that point in time. So can I have an answer or some lights from Rocky first? Rocky ji.
So I'll take 2-3 minutes just to know without wasting any more time. First of all, let's understand what is the human composition. I'm going a little different, but it's very important for all of us to understand.
Sure.
The human composition has 3 aspects: body, mind, and intellect. In Sanskrit, we say sharir, manas, buddhi. 3 aspects.
Absolutely.
What we have done as a company, and I'm sure everybody else must be following something similar, we've focused a lot of initiatives on the body of the teams down the line, including all of us. Body means the physical body, which is the health, hygiene, and the fitness. We've spent a lot of time in terms of sharing with them. Number 2, the mind. As Dr. Bakshi rightly said, we are going through a very serious, unprecedented times of uncertainty of COVID. What we've done, so what it causes is there's a lot of stress comes in. Now, stress could be of life itself, whether I'm going to live or not, or family members, or jobs, or future, pay cuts, or whatever. There are tons of stress that we have. Some people know it, some people do not know it. But please understand that all of us have been affected by COVID in the world, anyone and everyone,
Correct.
whether we accept it, we don't accept it. All
Correct.
of us shaken. So what we do as a company is that we believe in a lot of counseling. So from the mind part, now I'm at the second part, body I've covered, now the mind. Mind means the feelings, emotions, and the whole likes and dislikes. So here we've made them understand in terms of emotionally, we have done a lot of pampering. We have given the right shoulders to all the teams down the line. And also, we've also given a lot of counselings as to how to handle a particular situation they may be in. Third is the intellect, the buddhi. The buddhi has a lot of thought process, the ideas. So in terms of the talent, we've given them a lot of trainings to give them something, a new meaning to the life per se and the coming future. How will it come future? We have no idea. But what we've done is we're not taking any more chances. We are training people down the line, including all of us, to what will the future may look like. So let's train ourselves, let's get more skills. So all 3 aspects we've actually covered. Of course, what we've done is by creating SOPs and trainings and a lot of mock trainings, as I mentioned to you earlier. All those steps have been taken, yes. A lot of awareness of what's going on now, what could happen in future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For employees far more valued, may I request Kush to spare some time on this? And I know till yesterday they were doing yogas, arranging yoga asanas for the guests. Today they are doing it for the employees. So value employees are being valued now. I've personally gone and seen in this hotel what exactly he's doing and how he's making, and he's ensuring that every single employee is connected, not only connected with each other, but at every level also. So Kush, over to you.
So apart from the things which I've already mentioned, I'll just mention a couple of more things what we've been doing, sir. I'll talk about celebrating their birthdays as on date also. Once every month, we bring everybody together and cut the cakes and enjoy, have fun with everybody together. Every employee who's left my organization in the last 3 years, till date, they get a personalized message on their mobile from me every day in the morning, whoever is having the birthday basically. And this can be verified by anybody who is there in my organization as on date and who's left also. I personally make sure that I meet my all new joiners in the first 3 days when they are in my hotel during the induction phase, to make sure I personally want to brief them what is the organization all about, what is the importance of them in my organization, and it's because of them I'm going to take the brand up. And I'll give you an example. We've just been like 3 years old right now, and from nowhere we've actually got into a luxury brand right now. And I give complete credit of this to my employees, and I always crack a joke with them that if anything goes wrong, I take 50% brunt on me and they take 50% brunt of them. But if everything goes right, it's because of them, not because of me in that case. We do incentivize our team members in case any of their ideas get implemented. We incentivize them in case they help us in recruitments. And just for your information also, we've started recruiting people in our organization right now. Obviously, the number is less. And the reason is also because there are a lot of team members who were not able to come back from their homes because of their family reasons. So they had to leave the organization. But there are a lot of people who are looking for jobs, and especially I would say the third year students who've actually moved out. And we've promised them the job as our EDPs, executive development trainees. We've started taking them in our hotels right now. In case it's your marriage, probably in any time of the year, we pay you money. A part of the money comes from the company for your marriage, irrespective of what positions you are. For me, it's very important, as I mentioned many times, and I keep on saying, it's the team who takes it forward. We as managers, we as the HODs or the general managers, we mostly move around, look out for future strategies, but it's actually the team on the floor which makes or breaks your organization. So that's why we laid a lot of stress on them actually.
Great. Thank you very much, sir. Now, Ashuji, may I ask you about value for valuing employee? Sir, quickly, if all I can have an answer from you, sir.
Okay, so we did the exercise in two parts. During the time when our hotel was under a lockdown, we made sure that we try and create as many informed individuals. Now, at the senior level, we are more informed and we are well connected in terms of the political and the business scenario. The team members may not have access to a lot of information. So the idea was to basically educate how the market goes from phase 1 to phase 2 and to phase 3. There were questions, bizarre amount of questions that we kept on coming onto my WhatsApp, and I used to collect a lot of questions every third day, post a video within my team members. This was during the period when we were actually on lockdown, to try and address as much of questions as possible. So what happens to business? What happens to corporate travel? What happens to my job? What happens to my career? So there were a multitude of questions coming in, and we personally felt that keeping them informed and connected to reality, at the same time being prepared for what's going to come next. So always have a plan A and plan B. So that management, that the individual personal time and health management is something which we catered to. When the hotel came into operations, we made sure that we serve, because we were working with very limited manpower, we made sure that our team members are absolutely healthy. Health foods, starting from kada to milk with haldi, just to make sure that they are working. There were times when our teams have actually worked for 12, 13 hours a day. It's very, very important that their health is absolutely fit. So we made sure that at least we can serve them good and healthy diet. no rich foods, and of course, constant counseling in terms of their sleeping habits. We made sure that that 4 hours or 7 hours of sleep that they are getting was absolutely without a disturbance. So we made sure that we made separate sections where our team members could sleep. The team members get some reasonable amount of rest, which is absolutely undisturbed, which is essential to come fresh for the next day.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You have summed up very well exactly what you're doing in your hotel. That's outstanding and amazing. Now, I have a last question. Coming from what exactly Kush talked about, he was saying that we are hiring. And I have a strong hope as an HR professional also. In next quarter, in next 3 to 4 months, I'm pretty hopeful, things will start shaping up, will start giving a shape of coming to a little bit of a normal. Hope everything goes well. In 2021, I think it's going to be happening initially in the first quarter. Uh, the question is, what opportunities do you see post COVID-19 for existing workforce and aspirants who intend rejoining the hotels or hospitality graduates passing out in 2021? Because a lot of students who are sitting there are wanting to get back to the industry, and there are employees who have because of certain reasons they went back home and they could not come because of Z reasons. They would like to come back. So what exactly they should look forward for? What opportunities do you see for them? So my question would be specifically to Kush Kapoor first. I'll change the order now from Kush first. Second is going to be from Rocky, and then Ashu, and then one specific question will be to Dr. DK Bakshi Saab. That's going to be a separate question. First from Kush, what exactly plans, opportunities do you see post COVID-19 for the employees?
Right. Thank you, sir. So Indians are the second largest travelers in the world right now after Chinese traveler. So that's one point. Second, the MICE segment in India, the social events, we are the second biggest market in the world after US market. And just for the numbers, if anybody wants to hear the numbers, Indians, we have about 1 crore weddings happening in India per year.
That's right.
It is giving us a revenue of about 50,000 crore rupees business. So you talk about hospitality, you talk about event management company, you talk about airlines, there is no ending to that. I mean, I'm just talking about the students who are actually coming out right now and looking out for jobs. You talk about Dubai, New York, Singapore, Thailand. They are smaller, the countries are smaller the size than NCR Delhi. And India right now has only started in terms of the hospitality industry. So I'm actually trying to explain the world. I mean, for me, the sky is also not the limit, the way you guys can actually explore the market right now. Also, please understand the Indians population is the youngest population in the entire globe. When you talk about developed countries and developing countries, so our population on an average is about 28 years old. So there's so much to do within the country right now. The only challenge what we have is the quality which we need to nurture our people. And I'll just probably give an example of mine just to motivate the people who are actually the students, I would say. I became a general manager when I was only a diploma holder. I was not even having a graduation with me. I started my career as a room boy and I was a waiter out there. And I mean, there was no stopping for me to become a general manager and the CEO of the company right now. So all I'm trying to explain is, guys, you need to trust yourself. You need to have faith in yourself. Make sure you are the self-motivator, right? Don't rely on somebody to motivate you, please. And make sure you always keep on improving yourself. So 24 hours in a day, spend more time in improving yourself rather than looking at what the other people are doing for yourself, right? That's the most important thing I would say. Thank you, sir.
Great, sir. Thank you very much. I'll request Ashu to throw some light, because not only in his hotel, but in the entire chain, probably they must be having a plans. So what opportunities he's seeing post COVID-19 when a hiring takes place in his organization or in his group?
Thank you. So in terms of the opportunities for the team members, I think before you enter the hospitality industry, it's very, very important that with the new normal changing for everybody, the way I foresee things is collaborative multitasking is going to be in essence for the going way forward. And like I said earlier, 80% of your learnings and learnings on the job and during your curriculum period itself, to be focused on your area of expertise or your choice, and 20% into other departments as well. So the working knowledge of sister departments, not just the relationship, but having functional knowledge to an extent is going to become very, very essential, because team sizes are going to be reduced. People are going to be multitasking. Anybody who's got a reasonable amount of proficiency in one stream and about 20 to 30% proficiency into the other areas are the ones who are going to be succeeding and going to be utilized and recognized and wanted in the future recruitment processes.
Wonderful, sir. My question to Rocky, sir. As a group, Lalit, what next for the opportunities do you see for the future employees or the current employees working in your organization?
So, as the gentlemen have already covered, but yes, going forward, we expect the business to be back as usual. So, we'll be back in business ASAP, as soon as possible. Example: in the month of June, on one single day, Chandigarh Lalit has done 6 weddings in a day. Weddings will continue, as Kush rightly mentioned. Weddings will continue. Weddings will never stop. Domestic market, obviously, it's one of the biggest market that in India has to offer. That business will continue. Food, restaurants. Everyone is today fed up of eating the same food at home. They all want to eat out. They're desperate to eat out, but the fear still remains. The minute the fear circle goes back, all the restaurants are back in action, and we'll have queues outside. So I think we should all look forward to the future coming to all of us. Should not be a problem.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
My one question, this is a last question to Dr. D.K. Bakshi, because he has traveled worldwide. He has been into various sectors. Now, one or two differentiators today, those who are sitting and listening to this entire dialogue today webinar, and who are looking forward for bouncing back of the industry and looking forward for a change or coming back to the hospitality industry, or those hotel management graduates, because whatever they have been taught is not going to be the same anymore, and will not be required by hotels per se. What is that differentiator they should bring into them so that they are immediately recognized and hired by the organization? Whether it is you have done a lot of psychometric profiling, you have done a lot of assessment processes as such. So 2-3 differentiators they should bring into them, so that when they come to the organizations of like Lalit's or the Taj or the Roseate or the Marriott or the Hyatt for that matter, the concerned people who are hiring them, they should say he is not going to be he's going to be an asset and not something who's going to be a problem for us. So how can they make themselves as an asset for the organization? Over to Dr. D.K. Bakshi, sir.
Yeah, in fact, I have been training a lot of hotel managers, leaders at various countries, especially in Asia Pacific, and it has been indeed pleasure. And not only that, I have been conducting my public programs and trainings of various companies at resorts, Lalit's at Goa, Lalit's at Delhi, Radisson's of Delhi. And indeed, when I get leaders in my rooms, and when I have Padma Shri Pritam Singh with me or Dr. Kiran Bedi with me, all the leaders come closer and they want to hear what we do in the rooms. I have a clear message for the people who want to come back and for the people who are going to be passing out and going to the hotel industry. We were just listening to some of the stalwarts, and I also know, and some of the stalwarts are already in your, attendees, who have risen from ranks and have attained the positions of CEOs. And I think Kush spoke about himself very clearly. And I know in hotel industry, multiple people in the global world who were just a steward, and from a steward, they took over and became the general manager and CEOs of the company. So what my message to these people is that you need to be a star. S-T-A-R. When I say star, just imagine you are getting into one of the best properties of the town, one of the best properties of the city. Because when you go to a 5-star hotel, in 1981, when I entered Santa Cruz Airport, Mumbai, for me, it was totally different. I had never even thought about I will be there. So I had to be suited, booted. I had to be in my best way of becoming a star. So all of you have to be a star. And when you have a star, you have to think about 3 Gs. Go, grow, and glow. I repeat, go, grow, and glow. And S, when you work on, S is a situation into the best property of your town. And now T comes the task. Whether you are a steward, whether you are in the kitchen, whether you are at the front office, whichever level you are, whichever part of the property you are, you need to be delivering the best. You have to be mad about that job. You have to be passionate about that job. The moment you are passionate about that job, your job will become easy. You may fail, doesn't matter. To fall is not a failure. It is only when you do not get up again. Get up and go. Get up and go. Rather, I will say, romance with your job. That's where I say, you are a Michelangelo of your life. You are a master of your own destiny. So when you think about, I am a master of my own destiny, I am a Michelangelo of my life, beat the best, beat the best, beat the best, beat the best, and be the best. When you do that, ST, what will happen in that process? A becomes action. Now, as a star, when you are taking action, you will move to R. But as a star, when you are not taking action, you are stuck. You cannot be a star. So take action and move forward. And R will give you a result. And this is the best practices I have done in a couple of hotels. R will give you a result, which is when you will be happy, you will be excited. Situation, task, action, result. Now, what managers should look for when they hire these people?
Thank you very much, sir.
Especially in COVID and post-COVID, we don't know, as everybody is talking about. I like Rocky clearly talk, we don't know when we will be normal. What is new normal? New normal will keep on changing every time. Multitasking, multi-skilling, number one. Second one is, which is very, very important, is attitude or gratitude. Third is, whatever circumstances you are, smiling and vibrant and with energy. I am at 60-year-old, energy, energy, energy. And in case you are not energetic, in case you are not passionate, nothing will happen. So look at yourself, your SWOT. What is my strength? What is my W is weakness? I don't call it weakness. Working on areas of improvement. Hey, what is required to be there? Make a list, work on that. Convert this W into strength. O is opportunity. And I can tell you, there are multiple opportunities in life. And pre-COVID, maybe there were less. Post-COVID, there will be more. So look at opportunities. And T, there are no threats. Transforming solutions. Get ready into transforming solutions. So graduates of hospitality, there are opportunities. Don't worry. COVID is tough, but the future is bright. Get ready. Upskill yourself. Upgrade yourself. Look at your SWOT. And when you upgrade and when you are surely there, as we said, young India, the youngest star of the world, you know, the entire world in the hotel industry, there are really great Indian leaders at the top. I take 4 flights in a month, average. I go to 18 countries for training. And when I stay in the hotels, even in Nigeria, even in Uganda, even in Tanzania, even in, of course, Germany and US and Canada and, of course, Asia Pacific, there are very great Indian leaders at the top of the hotel. And when they see, oh my God, India is in a place which is very tough place. So you have a chance of Youngistan ruling the entire hospitality industry of the world with go, grow, and glow.
Great.
This is a beautiful industry.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's what I say. Entire world is yours. Sari dunia muthi mein hai, or talent who can upgrade their skills and get ready for the new normal. Thank you very much.
Now, I will just sum up one thing that all the four panelists have talked about. One thing that is, we want cash. It is CASH, but we want cash. It can be spelled as KASH, and K stands for knowledge that all four of them are talking about. We have to renew our knowledge. Then we have talked about we need to have an attitude of gratitude. We have talked about S. S stands for not only technical skills, we are talking of bringing soft skill, because in new normal, lot of expectations are going to be there from the customer, how to delight them, that soft skills will need to be upgraded. And last thing is H. What all of us are talking about is we need to have habits, are right kind of habits now. That habits need to change. Whatever was there in the past, it was fine, absolutely perfect. We need to change now. We need to be very proactive. We have to look at from a different perspective altogether, because COVID has made definitely a customer very chary, very demanding, but at the same point in time, he is looking forward for coming to your hotels. He is looking forward for a service which you had given to them, but little on a higher pedestrian, little better than what exactly they were being offered. So with this positive note, I strongly feel things are going to be positive. We need not worry. And all the four panelists are echoing the same thing. Nothing has gone wrong. It is just this COVID has brought us, given us some time to re-understand, recalibrate, rethink, and identify newer solutions so that the customer, the guest who comes to our hotel, he feels absolutely delighted, happy, and ecstatic about the service which is being provided. Thank you very much. I will request Taran to take it over. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was very, very engrossing panel, beautifully summed up by you, Mr. Jaideep Singh. I would now definitely, request everybody to hear what Nikos has to share with us. They have actually created something really, really different in this COVID time for all us in the hotel, in the hospitality industry, because all of us have gone on the drawing board and we are looking at every costs which we are incurring in our operations. So kindly hear to them. You will have a lot of solutions from them and you can connect with them. Over to you, Shalini.
Yeah, hi, thank you so much, Taran. Really happy to be here. First of all, I shall thank the Happy Hotelier Club to give us an opportunity to be here and present about our organization on a forum with so many esteemed and intellectual members. Really feel privileged to be presenting in front of you all. Let me quickly give a brief about Nikos Manpower Services Private Limited, as the time is very limiting. We are an outsourcing company with a focus to reduce the fixed cost of our clients and increase the productivity. I would request my other partner, Mr. Malik Girish Anand, to come and give details about the services that we offer. Mr. Malik Girish Anand is a chartered accountant in practice for the last 28 years. He leads a team of 30 people, including 4 partners and 3 other chartered accountants and a company secretary to take care of all the secretarial compliances. Mr. Malik Girish Anand, the stage is yours. Can you please come?
Ma'am, Ms. Shalini, I would also request you if you can share the screen so that people can see the presentation.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I forgot to do that. Yeah.
Mr. Anand, you have to unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, I have to give the access to him.
Okay, please give it to him. He is waiting.
Shalini ma'am, meanwhile, if you can enable editing, if you can click on enable editing button, then only you can move forward.
Just a second. Enable editing.
Yeah. Mr. Malik, now you can start. You can unmute yourself now.
Yeah, I have done that. Good evening, friends. Really privileged to be talking in front of you all. Nikos Manpower Private Limited is a one-stop shop for providing all accounting solutions under one roof, starting from accounting, vendor bill processing, payroll accounting, provision of manpower for accounts and finance jobs, and last but not the least, the statutory compliances. Our company provides the above services under one roof, enabling our prospective clients to avail all these services without approaching multiple vendors. I'll tell you briefly the gist of services which we all are providing. The first one is the payroll services. We handle all of the functions starting from attendance sheets, making salary, making deductions such as advances, TDS, professional tax, etc. Thus, the business owner's time can be utilized for more pertinent matters. The second services being offered is the payment processing services. The third service is invoice processing services. The fourth one is financial bookkeeping and miscellaneous data services. The fifth one is temporary staffing services. And the last but not the least, which is the most important service, is the statutory compliances. Statutory compliances remain in our hand. Being experts in legislations such as GST, income tax, PF, ESI, and other government regulations, we ensure timely filing of various returns/documents, thereby saving the company huge amounts of late fee penalties and to avoid unnecessary notices and litigations. While maintaining your books of accounts, our team is also doing real-time generation of invoices using various software, interacting with your chartered accountants, and sending them data on a timely basis. This ensures that the filing of GST returns and other formalities are done within the stipulated time frames. While using our services, you don't need to change your CA, but can relieve your existing staff from these responsibilities and use them in a more productive task. The cost obviously shall be much lower than that of the salary of an accountant. Our services reflect fast spreading gig economy. The classic example of this change is Ola. With the availability of Ola services, you would rather hire an Ola cab instead of purchasing a car, employing a driver, getting the car serviced and insured, and going through the headache of getting the car refueled and finding a parking space. With Ola, you only pay a certain amount and they take care of all the above headaches and expenses. This is what we do for your accounting, financial, and statutory needs over here. We will obviate the need for a full-time accounting staff for our clients, and you will be assured that your entire work is being handled by professionals and experts and not just simple graduates. The professionals are in this field for more than 28 years. So it's a win-win situation for you, as you can get professional services at a much lower rate than that needed to maintain a team of accountants and without having the headache of paying not just the salaries but also other statutory dues such as PF, ESI, bonus, ex gratia, leave emoluments, gratuity, etc. The key benefits of using our services are time saving, customized reports, mitigation of statutory compliance lists, reduced in-house costs, team of experts, accuracy assured, privacy assured, enhanced security of data, and usage of advanced technology. Above that, we would like to highlight that today we are all living in a new normal and we are connecting with everybody on a virtual platform. Right now also I am connecting with you all on a virtual platform only. Similarly, most of the services we provide are online and are not dependent either on physical meetings or on a city or a particular state. It is worthwhile to point out that we are doing real-time accounting, including generation of sales orders, invoices, and even stock records for a company located in Bangalore, and they are very satisfied with our performance. It is pertinent to note that we are based at Delhi. However, we can handle assignments pan-India. We got that assignment because their accounts person was about to leave and they could not find a competent person as their software was too technical. So all in all, it's a deft ploy to increase your overall business efficiency and productivity. I know you all are busy people and I'm telling you something which will take you all to a different level altogether. The salary of an accountant is approximately around 30K, and we shall be doing the above functions in almost 60% cost, depending on the volumes of data. After hearing all the benefits and cost cutting, I'm sure that you all will definitely want to get in touch with us. So for your benefit, we are providing our contact numbers, email ID, and other details in the chat box and also in our PPT presentation. In case you have any queries or you need any advice on any of the accounting or statutory provisions, please feel free to contact us. You can also send your queries through the chat box with contact details. We shall revert back with the answers ASAP. Last but not the least, we have a special offer for all of you. The first 50 people who contact us shall be provided consultancy free of cost. Thanking you all for the patient hearing and looking forward to serve your organizations. That would be all from Nikos Manpower Private Limited. We have a couple of minutes to spare. In case anyone has any query, please feel free to ask. I'll be able to answer the query, or else you can put the query in the chat box.
Thank you, Girishi. It was very, very informative and precisely to the point.
Now, does anybody have any query regarding accounts or any?
Any questions, we'll be happy to answer, or otherwise we can always connect one-on-one.
Yes, I would request you if you can drop your contact details in the chat box so that
They've already done that.
Yeah, we've done that. We've done
I
that.
think people will connect
Yeah.
individually also.
Yeah.
I would request you if you can stop the screen sharing, please.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Thank you.
Any questions? We can take one or two questions from the participants. Any questions any participant has for the panel, we are most welcome to take it forward with the panel. We can take maximum 2 questions right now due to paucity of time.
You can press the raise a hand button or you can post your question in the chat box. So I think Taran,
Pardon us for the extended session today. We are 13 minutes beyond the estimated time. I think the panel was too engrossing and we didn't want to miss on any of the points.
Thank you.
So,
yeah.
So I think whoever has any query can also post it on our Facebook page or on our, I think, in the chat box right now. We'll be happy to take it up and answer it independently,
Yeah, we can do that.
Right. So thank you so much. Thank you. A big thank you to all our panel speakers, our dear participants, our fantastic moderator for the day. We look forward to seeing all of you again on Thursday, 16 July, when we get ready for our episode number 16, Innovative Leadership to Upscale Opportunities in Hospitality and Role of Technology. And I'm happy to announce that that would be moderated by Mr. Girish Bindra. So we look forward to each one of you to join us on 16 July. Kindly block your time. That's going to be same time, 4 o'clock. Thank you so much for sparing time with us.
Once again, thanks to Dr. Bakshi, Dr. Kush, and Rocky, and Ashu. Thank you very much for being with us.
Yes, thank you. Thanks a lot for spending time with us. And we've been pushing you, and you've been really investing time with HHC. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Jaideep Singh. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And I would like to request everyone, if you want to know about HHC membership benefits, you can call us on these mentioned numbers, or you can alternatively visit our website, that is Happy Hotel.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice time ahead. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Thanks.
Take care.